Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or whatever time zone it is, whether you're on the world, it is your Lore Saviour. And if you've been following me on social media and pay attention to the YouTube community posts, which you should do, because that's where I do all my cool, awesome updates and other little tidbits that I've been getting up to, you would be aware that I've recently purchased a physical copy of Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. There it is in my tiny little hands. And alongside this, I also purchased Bloodlines, and whenever that arrives, I'll post a picture of that there too. And when I posted Redemption, I had a couple people very politely, and I'm using inverted comments there, telling me that I could buy off Steam and GOG and I was good to go. And my siblings in Christ, do you not think I knew this already? Well, I do, because it was actually one of the first videos that I did reviewing Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. You can actually go and check that out by clicking on the card that's going to appear in the corner right now. Like, sure, my presentation style has changed a lot since then, but my thoughts on that game haven't really changed. I also done Bloodlines before anybody tells me about that as well, which you can also check by clicking in a card right about now. And I just thought I would do a little video talking about why exactly I've gone out of my way buying these second-hand copies of these classic, cult classic Vampire the Masquerade video games. And truth be told, it's because we are in a very weird state at the moment with video game preservation. And when I say a weird state, I mean that companies and publishers and developers, or whoever it is that you want to blame for it, are not doing a good job at preserving their old video games. And there's a bit of some disputes at the moment with the likes of Nintendo, who are going around shutting down emulators and stopping people from playing older video games. Now, the emulators will spring back up, they always do, that's not the issue here. It's the fact that companies are not providing legal ways for people to be playing these older video games really easily. And I say easily because you can often buy them second-hand, but usually at ridiculous prices. Why? Because there is a demand for them. An infamous example of that is Kuon, which is an obscure horror game done by FromSoft, the people who did the Dark Souls series. Set in sort of like a feudal Japan sort of thing, you play as 3 different characters. But if you go on eBay, you will not be able to find that any less than 300 smackers. Sorry, 500 smackers. 500 UK British pounds. And I don't know about you, but I don't think any video game is worth that much. Of course, no one in their right mind is going to be spending all that money unless they're absolutely fucking desperate and or they've got the money to blow. And if you've got £500 to fucking spend on a video game, then I think you're wasting your money a little bit, in my opinion. However, there's more to that, because with the likes of Bloodlines and Redemption, you can buy both of them off Steam, yes. But Bloodlines cannot be played without an internet connection because the whole fucking licensing and protection thing it's got going on with that, if you purchase it from Steam, which is extremely frustrating. Yes, you could purchase them on GOG, Good Old Games, where they will work mostly on Windows 10, which is the most up-to-date system. Actually, you've got Windows 11 now, but I'm sure you can do it on Windows 11 now. And GOG recently put out a thing that they're going to carry on doing their best at preserving these old classic games to run on modern systems, which is fantastic. It's really cool that you've got this one company that's doing that. However, there is the big fucking problem with all of that. Well, with GOG, they claim that you own your games. You know, unlike Steam and other online stores, you don't own your game, you own a license for it. And as we've seen before, they could strip that away at any time, or the company can go under, and then you won't have access to these things. Now, I doubt very much this is going to happen with Steam, and I doubt very much this is going to happen with GOG, as it's owned by another big game company, but you never know what's going to happen with these things. And if those stores go down, that is a lot of fucking lost media. And Vampire fans won't be able to play the 2 cult classic video games, Bloodlines and Redemption. And that is why I've gone out of my way and purchased these 2 second-hand copies of these games, which are very cheap, I have to admit. Redemption was £1, which is £1, and Bloodlines was £4. And then with the post and packaging on top of that, the whole thing was £10, which isn't bad, really. So, I'm a huge fan of physical media. Sure, we all like a bit of the convenience of digital stuff every now and again, some more than others, but I like owning my shit, you know? And when that Bloodlines disc arrives, well, all 3 of them, because it was an installation thing in 3 parts, I will own Bloodlines. With Redemption, I own that now. You saw with the pictures that I put up, those are my copies. I'm a horrible hoarder and collector. I'm not getting rid of those now. And again, that sort of carries on to TTRPG Books. Because yeah, I have a lot of PDFs with things, but I like the physical media. Like, here's another picture of me with my original copy of Vampire the Masquerade 2nd edition, because I found that on an online store based in the UK that was selling that for fucking dirt cheap, and I thought, in near mint condition, which it is by the way, I'll fucking have that. And again, to most people that's not going to make a lot of sense. It doesn't have the prestige of Vampire the Masquerade 1st edition. It doesn't have the full bloat of revised edition. I've got 20th anniversary edition, I've got 5th edition. No one is going to be playing 2nd edition. But it's the fact that I'm a weird collector who loves this franchise very fucking much. And it's far more beneficial for me to have a physical copy of that than some crappy PDF you can get off Drive-Thru-RPG, which, to be fair, the qualities are alright for some of them, but some of them are really fucking awful. So I have the original text in its original print right there. And even with Drive-Thru-RPG, where you can get a lot of these books print on demand, sure, they're not original copies by any means. It's a scan of a PDF, but it's a physical tome. I will have that for life unless my fucking house goes on fire and I lose everything. But those tomes are mine. No one can take that away from me. No dodgy internet connection, no data corruption or shitty system. Those physical items are mine. So with Bloodlines and Redemption, I'm always going to have those discs now. I will be able to put them in a PC or use a disk drive if I buy one that doesn't have a disk drive, which would be very unlike me indeed. Put them in there, install them, and if I need to do any fucking legwork to make them work, because I believe Bloodlines doesn't work properly, like it requires an activation code thing, but I'm aware vaguely there may be a way around that these days, but I don't know. I'll work it out. You know, but that is mine. That is like physical media, second-hand games, you know, mine. You can't take that away with me. I'm very, again, similar with music. Like, I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks, and I like having those physical CDs. Yes, I still buy CDs. Sure, there's a lot of that's, you know, digital, but if I lose the account or tax or whatever, though, I will not lose those physical items. I will always have them. I just need a fucking disk drive, and I just put them on my phone and listen to them. Again, Spotify's convenient, but I don't like its model. I don't pay for Spotify, I use the free version. I refuse to pay premium for YouTube, despite how fucking annoying the ads are really getting with that. Because I don't agree with the model, and the people don't really get paid all that much, even if you do up your pay with, you know, if you actually pay for those services and not using it for free. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's the fact that I can own those physical products, and they are mine. And once I work out how to get the things to work, even if I have to do some technical footwork around them, and I'll definitely have to install mods and patches to get them to run smoothly, or not a shit without them. But once I have that skill set, I can take that with me. Like, I'll be able to play those games without the fear of potentially losing an account or not having a license, or the case of GOG, they may have a change of direction one day and go, fuck you, you don't own these games anymore. That would end the company. They may put out something really bad, or something that will make people not like them very much. There's all sorts of things that could happen that could prevent people from losing these games. And it really bugs me that game companies don't do a lot more for them. They'll shut down these emulators when really people are just wanting to play your fucking games and they can't do them properly. One of my most favourite games of all time is American McGee's Alice. You know, it's based on Alice in Wonderland. It's a fantastic little gem of its time and a really interesting macabre horror experience. And the music and the dialogue is wonderful. But there is no way to play it legally. You can, if you get the sequel, Alice Madness Returns, and you fuck around with the files a little bit, the original will appear for you to play. But a lot of people aren't going to do that or even aware of that because it involves going into the game files and worrying about fucking shit up or your computer or whatever, which, you know what, is fucking understandable really. And not everybody's going to do that. And if you fuck up the game, you just uninstall it and start again, you know? But that takes time and it's annoying and people shouldn't have to do that. There should just be a really simple way for people to fucking own their games. And GOG is great, but it's not a fantastic solution, in my totally honest opinion. And so, with that game, and Kuon, and any other game that's difficult to find, people are going to find ways to work around it, because they're not going to spend a lot of money playing these things. Like, it's absolutely obscene. And in fact, I'm very tempted just to go and have a little look online and see what the physical copies of American McGee's Alice's that online, and if it's a decent price, I may fucking buy it, because I'm really fed up with this issue. And it just bugs me that companies aren't going to do much with it, because Bloodlines and Redemption are both owned by Activision. They're sure as fucking not going to, like, remaster it. In fact, Activision really just fucking slapped the people who are doing, like, that Skyrim mod to recreate Redemption with Skyrim's engine and whatnot. They give them a right old kick in the ball, saying you're not allowed to call this Redemption. You have to call it something else. So they have to rework a lot of it so it doesn't bear much likeness to Redemption. When, like, come on people, you fucking assholes. Let people play your games really easily. So to recap, I bought physical copies of Vampire the Masquerade, Redemption and Bloodlines because I wanted to own those games in their base form without any additional perks or upgrades or, you know, patches or whatnot, so I can do all that stuff myself and play those games the way that I want to, because as fantastic as the unofficial patch of Bloodlines is, it's the developers made changes to make life uneasier for the likes of speedrunners, and they made certain creative decisions about what should or should not be in that game and what shouldn't, you know, or how to play that game basically. And I think that's a bit fucking cheeky. That doesn't then become a patch, then becomes like you being a creative developer. And I think if you're trying to make something, you know, enjoyable for all as intended, doing certain things, you know, to limit people's fun is not the way to do it. And of course, all these sites, you go and download them, you'll get the most up-to-date version, which is something that you may not want to do for whatever reason. But with a physical copy, without access to the internet or a means of like automatically downloading it, you can play those games as is. You'll always be able to play those games as is, which I think is how things should be, to be honest. And at any point, these game companies could be hacked or shut down, and companies with great intentions like Good Old Games, they may have a fucking turnaround one day and may go, fuck you, we're now putting a license on here. Now, we say that's unlikely, but who knows what may happen like a week or month or years from now. So it's super important to me to have those physical items, and it's honestly quite fucking baffling I haven't done this sooner, to be honest. But yeah, those items are mine now, and nobody can do anything about that. And of course, if I'm able to get the games working from disk to Windows 10, I'll be doing little videos about it, because I think it'll be important to showcase that you don't have to buy it from Steam or Good Old Games. You can have that physical copy, whether it's one that you bought on day one or you got it second hand from somewhere. It's totally possible to get all that working. Of course, that's assuming that I can get them to work. It'll be a fun little experiment to see how far I can get with this, and providing it doesn't like break any laws or whatever, I will put that on YouTube for people to watch. So hopefully that'll be a nice little bit of fun content for you. And as we begin to wrap up this video, I would love to know your Bloodlines and Redemption experiences. Let me know about them all in the comments below. Which of the two games do you prefer? Which one of them has given you more of satisfaction and fonder memories? I'd love to see all your little Bloodlines and Redemption stories. And once you're down there, you can go and check out the various Vampire the Masquerade books in the description for you to purchase, to include in your TTRPG games. And if you purchase them with those links, I get some of the money back, because I'm an affiliate on Drive-Thru-RPG and the Storyteller's Vault, and I get a sliver of the coinage, which is all nice. But I understand you may not want to be doing that, especially if you're going to go out and buy physical copies of Bloodlines and Redemption right now. So I understand that, you know, and times are hard and all of that. but I'd appreciate it all the same. Well, I'd also appreciate it if you could like, subscribe and share this video with any and all who enjoy what I do. Follow me on the Lore by Night social media pages in the description below. Join the Lore by Night Discord server, and I'll see you on the next upload, wherever that may well be for you. And until next time, farewell.